What's going on, y'all? It's TCG here, back again with another video, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed over the past couple days. It really means the world to me. I put out that video on Monday and said that if we reach 3K subscribers, I'd be giving away this box of OP09, and you all absolutely blew me away. We got like over 300 subscribers in a couple days, which was just monumental. It was absolutely crazy, and I just want to say thank you to all of you and welcome all the new subscribers. It really helps me out, and if you like this content, like I said, remember to like the video, comment down below, let me know what you think about the video, and for this one I want you to let me know what decks you're excited about playing for this format. So as you can see by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about the decks that I'm excited for, and I've only got two for you today, so it'll be a little bit of a shorter video, but back to the giveaway. Someone has been selected as the winner, so please go make sure to check out my community tab to see if you were the winner or not. I selected that winner, and make sure to follow the instructions I left for you. And again, thank you to everyone who entered. But before we jump into this, you know I want to shout out today's sponsor, and that is going to be Dueling Guard. Dueling Guard, they make the best TCG products out there. You know I've talked about them before, and I will continue to talk about them because I love their products. They make absolutely amazing stuff. They have a ton of new releases, including some new binders, some old ones reprinted in new colorways. The new Law binder is absolutely beautiful. Some Bleach, some Oshinoko, some Code Geass, if that's what you're into. They even have this Emperor's Collection up for grabs right now. Blackbeard, some Buggy action, some Shanks, just absolutely beautiful product. If you want to go check out their website, I have a link to it down in the description below that'll automatically apply a discount code that helps support me, and you can get yourself some amazing products pre-order or in stock. They actually have a whole bunch in stock right now that if you order, you might just get in time for the holidays. So make sure to use that code TCG at checkout and save yourself a little bit of cash. But let's jump back in over here at the deck list. So as you saw at the beginning of this video, I have a Blackbeard deck list pulled up here, and that is because I love Blackbeard. He is one of my favorite One Piece characters, favorite villain in One Piece. Just absolutely love him. And when I saw that he was getting a leader, no matter what it did, I was going to build the deck even if it was bad. But this deck is good, and you should know that by now. We are almost a week into OP09, and if you haven't seen what this deck has been doing in the East, then you're in for it, because this deck is awesome. This deck is really powerful. It's a very linear strategy, in my opinion. You know, you kind of have a game plan that you go for, and I think that it really revolves around you having to know your matchup very well. You know, you want to know what your opponent is going to do on a specific number of Dawn, so that before you can use your leader effect. If you don't know what this leader effect, it says you cannot activate on plays. Your on play abilities don't activate, so you cannot play any on play cards in this deck. It is a mono black leader, so a lot of those powerful on plays like Gecko Moria, Rob Lucci, Rebecca, all the classics that we've seen in very powerful black decks before are not going to cut it in this deck. You have to play cards that activate main or don't have an activatable effect, and a lot of the all of the Blackbeard pirates are like that, so they fit in here perfectly. And then of course we have a couple other cards, a couple events, things that just work well with this leader. So the rest of his effect says that you can activate main, trash one card from your hand, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent's on-play abilities don't activate. So not only will your on-plays not activate, your opponents won't either. So just being able to stop them from using what they want on curve is just, I mean, it can be game winning at times, you know, if you stop them at the right time. And like I said, this is a deck where you really want to know the matchup you're playing against. So the top decks in the room, you want to know what they're doing on 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 10 Dawn, or 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 Dawn. It's very important. And yeah, this deck is, I like it a lot. I think it's fun. A lot of people don't think it's very fun. It's not super interactive, or I don't know. I've had a lot of complaints from my testing partners when I've been playing this deck, and I really enjoy it. I think that it's very cool. It plays different from any other black deck that we've had in the One Piece card game, and I think that's one reason that I really like it. You know, I was a big Smoker player when that first came out, and then black just kind of ramped up and was just all destruction. You know, Smoker was it was destruction. It was a lot of cost minusing and stuff, which was cool, but it felt balanced back then. And then I think things got a little out of hand a few points in this game's lifetime. But it's nice to see a deck that doesn't just completely revolve around blowing the field up and it being mono black. So let's just get into this deck list a little bit. So we are on 4 Laboon, and we'll cover this in next week's Market Watch video because Laboon has gone back and forth to the moon over the past couple of months. I remember calling this out at like $1, maybe even 50 cents, that you wanted to pick these up, and I'm pretty sure they're like $30 now for a super from EB. So make sure to check your bulk for any Laboons, and if you have them and you're wanting to play Blackbeard, hold on to them because I don't see this card getting a reprint for some time. And with EBO2 around the horizon, you might want to pick up your playsets of supers right when they come out so we don't have more scenarios like this. But Laboon, 1,000 counter, 4 cost 5k. Activate main, rest this character, give an opponent's character -4 cost for the turn. Just helps. You know, you have .Q, which lets you KO characters, 1 cost characters by resting him. And you also have Liberation, which can negate effects. And then if it's a 4 or less, you can KO them. Then also I play Finger Pistol, which can help KO some stuff. So in this deck, you can pop up to like a 9. I guess if you have stronger on field, you could pop a 10 theoretically if you really, really needed to. But that's kind of stretching it, kind of pushing it. You know, this deck is not very control heavy. It's not popping the board and stuff, but Laboon is in there in case you do need him. Next, we have Van Augur, which is just like Laboon. You just have to have a Blackbeard Pirates leader, and you give -3 costs for the turn, and on KO he draws a card. He is also a little costlier and a little more powerful. And then we have Jesus Burgess, one of the main stars of the show when it comes to this deck. This card is absolutely incredible because it cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects, so they cannot just blow this up with cards like they want to. You know, Shanks plays Rayleigh and the 10-drop Shanks that pop stuff. Beckman is one of the ways to get around this card, but if you leader effect before they play Beckman, they can't Beckman you. There's a couple other ways to get rid of it too, but that's all you're looking at right there. I mean, yeah, this card's just almost unbeatable by certain decks that don't have removal, and it just gets bigger and bigger because if your leader's Blackbeard, you get 1,000 power for every 4 cards in your deck. And if you know what this deck build is and how it plays, you play multiple searchers. So we are on 4 of each of the searchers, and we are constantly searching out different pieces of our deck so that we can trash them with our leader effect, get that Burgess bigger. The My Era card trashes the rest of the cards for you, which actually helps get your leader up even, or your Burgess up even bigger. And yeah, this deck is just awesome. It's so much fun. We have Shiryu, which is really just a 2k, but it can draw you some cards if you need to. We have Stronger that can trash a card from your hand and rest it. No, you don't rest it. You just trash a card from your hand. And this character, that's what it is. So trash a card from your hand and this character, and if your leader is Blackbeard Pirates type, you draw a card, then give -2 to something. Pretty good. Then you pair it with Doc Q that you get to rest, pop something, and on KO, this also draws a card. I like that a lot of these cards replace themselves. You know, Augur, Doc Q, and Stronger all replace themselves. I think that's very, very nice. It's something the deck definitely needed. You know, you're going down on resources with this leader. I wouldn't say very quickly, but over the course of the game, you will get to the end of the game and you will have less cards in your hand than your opponent. But if you have been playing right and setting your cards up right, that won't really matter because you'll have 3 or 4 Blackbeards on the field. Then next we have a chump blocker in Vasco Shot. We have Marshall D. Teach, the 10-drop menace of this format. Just a 12k blocker that you can stop your opponent's leader effect from activating that turn and also negate the effects of a character on field, and it can attack the next turn. And did I mention this card's a blocker? Like, oh my god, this card is just absolutely disgusting. If this wasn't leader locked, every single black deck in the room would be running it, and it would be just kind of a problem. This card is, a lot of people claim it is a problem, even just in this deck, but I don't see it as such. I think that it being leader restricted really makes for good gameplay. You know, you're only going to have to deal with this card when you go up against Blackbeard. Now, that matchup might be annoying for you in your deck, but it's a winnable game. You know, I don't think Blackbeard is a tier 0 threat yet, and it's definitely something that is very powerful, but you can beat this deck. I've lost with this deck many times, but I've also won many games with this deck. So 10 drop is the name of the game with this deck. You want to search them out. You want to get them. You want to build some Jesus Burgesses on field, swing a whole bunch, and then start dropping these 10 drops. Protect your Burgesses with your life, KO any threats that you need to, and just kind of go from there. It's very linear. You have Lafitte, which is a 1-drop searcher, just like Bonnie. Rest it, search top 5, add a card. Then you, like I said, we're on Finger Pistol, which helps because it fills your trash and pops something. We have This Is My Era. This searches top 3, adds a card, and puts the rest in the trash. We have Liberation, which I think is a really cool card for cost. If your leader has a Blackbeard Pirates type, choose an opponent's character, negate the effects for the turn, and then if this character has a cost of 4 or less, KO it. Awesome card. Also has a good trigger to negate the effects of up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters during this turn. So you pull this out of life, you can negate something that might have double attack, or negate your opponent's leader effect that might help them during that turn that they haven't used yet. You never really know. So really good card there. And then we are on 4 Hachinoso. So it's just a stage that looks at top 3, adds you a Blackbeard Pirate. You know, you trash a card to do it too, which also fills up your trash for Burgess. This deck, it's got a very solid game plan, and I really want to test out a couple different versions of this. I've seen versions that play Jack. I've seen versions that play what is the card? Mansherry. I've seen versions that play the big 9-drop Kaido, and I really would like to experiment with some of that stuff, but for now I'm staying with the simple version that I know is effective and I know works. I've got a big tournament coming up next weekend that I'm going to try and go do well at if I can, so I'm going to stick with the simple version that I know is going to do the trick and try and get there. But that's enough Blackbeard talk. Let's take a look at the other deck that I'm really excited for in this format. And that other deck is going to be Nico Robin. So I love this leader. I think it is a great designed leader, but as you can see, I'm only really playing yellow cards. I need to try out a couple more versions of this deck. I've tried a handful so far, but this has been the version that I like the most so far. But I want to try another version as well. One that doesn't try to ramp as fast. You know, we're playing so many triggers so that we can trash stuff to ramp with our leader effect. You know, I think just ramping once with this leader could actually just do the trick. I usually try and do it twice just so I can get to 10 really fast and start dropping Luffy's, Aces, and Yamatos. But it might not be necessary. You know, this leader has Banish, and just trying to highlight that and make your opponent have to deal with that and ask them for more cards, I think might be a little more beneficial than ramp and play your big bodies to heal, take all your life, maybe hit a trigger or two. You never know. I will try a list out like that eventually, but for now, this has been the list I've been enjoying. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about ramping. If you haven't seen this leader, when attacking, you can trash a card with trigger from your hand, add a Dawn from your Dawn deck, and set it as rested. So to trash a card from hand while you attack, that seems pretty decent to get a rested Dawn. I think ramping once or twice in a game to put yourself above your opponent is pretty powerful, but at the cost of a card, it just kind of depends on the rest of it, because, you know, you are a 4-life leader. You're not getting as many resources as your opponent, and there are searchers. I'm not playing them. I do want to try out a build that plays the Ohara Searcher, or is it the Ohara Searcher? Yeah, I think Clover is his name. And then also the Darishishi event that adds triggers from your deck. I'll have to try those versions out. But for now, this is kind of what I've landed on and what I've been enjoying playing. We're on 2 Sanji. It's a Straw Hat build. There's quite a few Straw Hats in here, but there's no way to search them. But there's the 2 Sanji, new card from this set that gets Rush. Rest is 6 or less. Really, really good. New Luffy that also has Rush and draws a card. Really, really good. Beige, of course, a great yellow trigger card that you just have to have, and a 2K. Yamato, if you're playing a yellow deck that wants to take life and wants to try to grind out your opponent, you got to play Yamato, get that extra life back, and pop some cards. We are on Onami, which actually I have not been feeling that much. You know, I don't need to give my leader Banish. I could maybe give it to a Yamato or a Luffy or an Ace that's already on field. That's kind of funny, but most of the time I'm just using this for counter or trashing off leader effect or pulling out of life. Those are the only times I really get this. I don't put it on the field like I do when I'm Yamato. So I'm contemplating cutting this card. But before we go any further, if you've been playing Blackbeard or you've been playing Robin, let me know what you're thinking about these decks down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them, and if you're trying anything that you would consider spicy in your list. And let me know what you think of my list, if you like them or not, and give them a try. I'd love to know how you feel about them. And make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We will be doing more giveaways in the future, probably one when we hit 4,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, hit that button so that you can have a chance to win the next giveaway. But continuing on, we have two Okiku, or Kiku Nojo, sorry. I love this card. I think this card is just fantastic. Being able to trigger itself out so easily is amazing, and just being a 4/6 is really good. One Dawn investment gets you to 7k. Really, really like it. Might have to bump this up. For Frankie, of course, this is just another good 2k to pair right there with Beji. Just gets you a draw and a body if you need it, or is a 2k. Really, really solid. We are on the Egghead Luffy for some pops if we need it, and also that trigger to pop is absolutely insane. We are on 3 Ace. I might have to try and bump this up to 4, but I've been liking the Luffy and the Yamato more than the Ace, just because, I don't know, sometimes I like the pop, sometimes I like the rush. I know Ace can get rush, but this Luffy has rush whenever I need it, which I really, really like. But Ace is a really, really strong card. We are on 4 of the 5 cost Egghead Nami, which I also really like this card. If you can get to a point where you only have 4 cards in hand, you play this and get to use this effect to draw a card as well. It's so, so powerful. Love this card. Then we are on 4 of the Nico Alvia, a nice 1-drop that can boost your leader up or just be a good 2k counter, and is also Shirahoshi effect on trigger. And then we are on 3 of the Nico Robin. I might bump this up as well. This card is insanely powerful, but I feel like people just kind of expect it, you know, so they're kind of trying to play around it, taking the hits, taking the life. So if you just get to play this on turn 3 before they're below 3 life, it really works out. But after that, this is kind of a dead card, and I don't really like it. So I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet, but nonetheless, it is a really good card. And then we are on, of course, 4 of the 0 cost event. You got to play 4 of this card. It's absolutely bananas, especially with so many big cost bodies. Most of the rest of the cards in our deck have counter, but those big ones can clunk you up after a little while. And then we are on 4 Please Save Me, because we are on multiple Eggheads. We can trigger this out of life and also give your leader that bonus if you need to use it. Like I said, I've been enjoying this a lot. It's not super competitive, but it is a very fun deck, and making your opponent have to give you a lot of cards because your leader has banish is just something very funny to me and something that I enjoy. But that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Like I said, just wanted to talk about the 2 decks that I've been enjoying and I'm excited to play this format. And you have to let me know down in the comments below what decks you're excited for this format. And if these are the decks that you're excited for, hit me with a thumbs up, because I am very excited for them. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, y'all. I really appreciate you for watching. If you haven't checked out Dueling Guard, check out that link in the description. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.